All right, so I want to talk about something before we even get started down this journey. Anytime you want to better your life, anytime you want to upgrade something or improve something, one thing is promised: you will meet resistance. You will meet resistance. The challenge is do you have enough fuel? Are you committed and dedicated enough to make this change that you will push through the resistance? You will push through when it gets hard, when you don't feel like it, right? Because there's going to be a time where you don't feel like it, where you just want to take the easy way, which I would challenge. Is it the easy way? Sometimes it's easy up front, but it's harder on the back end. Versus if it's harder up front, we do the hard work on the front end, then it gets easier as you go. So it's going to get harder as you go or easier as you go. The choice is up to us. So for me, I look at this every day, why I do what I do as a husband, as a father, as a doctor, whatever it is, whatever hat I have to play. It's the same person, but there's different traits in different arenas, right? You need different fuel for different battles. But identifying your why for your health, I'm not going to read this to you. There's 20 questions on here that's going to, I just wanted to poke and prod your mind a little bit and get you thinking. But you've got to identify your why. Because when the resistance comes, it will be very easy sometimes. It will be actually to be easy to throw in the towel. It'll be hard to stay committed. Staying committed and dedicated is not easy, but it's worth it. And it gets easier as you go, the more dedicated you are. But you got to stay in the trenches. It's a little work. Sometimes it's a lot of work to climb the mountain, but it's much easier to stay up top in the maintenance phase of things. So we'll show you how to do that. But like I said, you're going to meet resistance. Think about money. How hard is it to blow money and just buy stuff, toys, shiny objects? That's not hard at all. It's easy to blow money. It's hard to create wealth, especially over a long horizon, because you have to do small things that add up over time. And then kind of like, I'm not going to go too far there. But anyways, I'll keep this short. But answer these with your heart. Really stop and ponder these. And then put this somewhere where you can read it every day. Maybe highlight a couple of the things that stick out to you the most. You don't have to read necessarily every question every day. But what is your goal? Stay focused on that. And more than what is it, why is it important? Which is the number two question here. Why is it important? Why do you want to make a change? Why do you want to reverse the lab markers? Or why do you want to do something that you've never been able to do? Who else is impacted when you become the person when you reach your full potential? When the true person inside of you fully expresses himself. Because what happens is this isn't the real you. There's a real you that's been trapped under sickness, under fatigue, under irritability, under confusion, under frustration, under lack of results. There's a real you that's trapped. There's things that you've never done that you are destined to do. So you've got to get your health right, because that's going to allow you to reach your full potential in life, because health is your most valuable asset. You can't do anything else or enjoy anything else fully without health. If you're in poor health, it's hard to enjoy a vacation. When you're in poor health, it's hard to get out there with the family and make a memory, whatever you want to do. Sometimes it's hard to just sit in your own house when you feel bad. Sometimes you just have to sit on the couch and then you still feel bad, right? So it's not, you just got to be committed, I guess is what I'm saying. Be intentional. Think about your decisions. Is this going to push me closer to my goal, or is it going to pull me back from my goal? There's no neutrality. And again, we do the hard things on the front end and it gets easier as we go, or we kick the can, which we think is easy. It's easy to ignore it, but the longer you ignore it, the harder it becomes on the back end, and the more detrimental and the more expensive to repair, and all these things with a car, with a house, with your health. It's all the same, guys. So go through this sheet, identifying your why, download it, and just think about it, ponder it, and take some time. This is going to be your fuel. You're going to use this every day from here on out. And then these will change too. Once you check some boxes or you accomplish goals, then we have other goals that come up that we don't even know are here sometimes. So just spend time, think about it, pray about it, read it with your heart, and then look at it. Remind yourself every day at some point that this is why I'm doing this, because it will get hard. And I'll share one story with you, but I used to work with a lady who was a big time CrossFitter, and this woman was strong. She was very strong, and she was cut and shredded, and you could point out every muscle with a laser pointer across the room. And a lot of guys, especially girls, but even guys, were envious. Like, man, she looks great. Her function is there. Her structure is there. She's strong as can be. Beautiful lady. And one time I remember her sitting down with me. She's like, you know what? People look at me, and then I get this all the time. Like, oh, I'm just not like that, or that's just not for me. I would never have fun doing that. Or she's like, there's all these things. Like, it must be easy. I can't do that. And she was like, that's all a lie. She's like, every morning when my alarm goes off at 4:30, the last thing I want to do is get up and work out. That's the last thing I want to do. And then, side note, I'm not saying you have to get up at 4:30. Back to the story. We went to work early. She had to get her exercise in before work started. That was her only option. I don't know what your schedule is, but I'm not saying that. Anyways, she said, it's not about do I feel like doing it. She's like, I don't think I've ever felt like it when my alarm went off. But you have 5 seconds to commit to it. So when my alarm goes off, 5 seconds. I know that if I don't commit to it before the end of that 5 seconds, it's not going to get done. So my alarm goes off. I hit snooze. I drop down and do 4 or 5 push-ups just to kind of get blood flowing. I go to the bathroom, get ready, and then I exercise. But I don't want to do it. I would much rather sleep every time. So also keep that in mind. It's not about what you feel like doing or if it's good in this moment. Because when you make the commitment, you're going to be in a different mindset, a different state of emotional state than when it comes time to honor the commitment. It'll feel real good in the moment, and then when it comes time to honor it, you're gonna be like, there's a bunch of other stuff I'd rather do tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow, right? But anyways, okay, I've gone on long enough. I don't want to keep rambling. Identify your why. Look at it every day. Remind yourself every day, and your life will transform. You've got to remind yourself it starts with your thoughts. It starts with your identity and your beliefs and your values. So your why will help change your values to protect your why. All right, guys. Do this with your heart. Do this with your heart. We'll see you at the next one.